Man, listen, a really good friend of ours, Tirsa Smith. So she's a news anchor for WATE in Knoxville, Tennessee. They just recently had the Knoxville Marathon, and she's brilliant, right? Tirsa has been on the news for well over 20 years. I mean, she does an amazing job. But she had to interview the guy who ended up winning the Knoxville Marathon. It was this young guy, and the the brilliance in being able to handle what he said was, to me, off the charts and was fascinating. This kind of leans into when you're watching a track and field event, and the host or the anchor goes and wants to talk to the person who's just finished the track event, and they can't talk because they're catching their breath. So trying to hear what they're saying is always crazy. This dude just finished running a marathon, was completely lucid and ready to talk. But what he said is quite interesting. And yeah, I want y'all to hear this, hear how Tirsa Smith handled it, and then we'll break it down in a second. But this is quite interesting.
So take it away.
Okay, guys, I'm here with Zach. Congratulations. How are you feeling in this moment?
I'm feeling really good. God's given me strength beyond comprehension, genuinely. Hit like mile 17, had to poop really bad, so I freaking pooped my freaking pants.
Oh, no.
Yeah, like 4 or 5 times, actually.
Okay, well.
David Goggins mentality type deal.
Okay, listen, you've got to give it your all. That's what we hear. What are you listening to? What keeps you motivated?
White girl pop for sure for the first time.
Hold on. She the way that she recovered after he said I pooped in my pants 4 or 5 times, the way that she recovered, absolutely brilliant. There's nothing you can say but, well, I guess you got to give it your all, huh? Like, oh, that threw me off. And then he said the David Goggins mentality. So the reason I also wanted to point this out, I mean, this was kind of a funny response, one, because she handled it like a champ. I don't know if many, interviewers, reporters, news anchors would have handled it quite that way, but she handled it with grace. But the thing that's interesting, he mentioned the David Goggins mentality. And for those that don't know, David Goggins, he is this ultra marathoner, but he's really this former, I think he was a Navy SEAL, but he has this mentality of he can force himself to endure anything to get to the goal, right? Like he's run ultra marathons, and he's done so with like 15 stress fractures in his feet. And he's pushed through various obstacles. It's basically mind over matter. But what this young man who just completed the marathon emphasized is that's what he had to do. Nothing else mattered but completing the mission. And it's interesting, and some will probably laugh and be like, ew, how can you do that? But this young man emphasized being mission focused, that nothing detracts or distracts him from accomplishing his mission. Now, for people who do these extreme runs and all of that stuff, they will emphasize that sometimes things like this happen, and this is kind of par for the course. If you really stop and think about it, when somebody's doing a marathon or an ultra marathon, when do they stop and use the bathroom? And you'll hear them have conversations, and some have interviewed stating that, yeah, they just let it flow where they are and they keep it moving. That's just part of, I guess, the journey, right? But that also, to me, as one who's not a marathoner, who's not an ultra marathoner, that does things like this, it also makes me think through the lens of you have to be built a certain way to do certain things, and everything is not designed for you. I have a saying, and I use it all the time when I'm working with individuals. What's designed for you cannot be denied. What's not designed for you should not be desired. Our daily prayer should be to make sure that our desire aligns with what he has designed. I don't want what's not designed for me personally. My desire is I want what he created for me. That's it. But he didn't make me to be a marathon runner. So I don't quite understand this part, but the reality is I'm not supposed to. See, this is the beauty of listening to people and understanding the story. It's like years ago, I remember it was a guy that I knew who, had a motorcycle accident. He was in the hospital, and, he was in the hospital all bandaged up with broken bones and all of that. But this dude couldn't talk about anything but getting back on a motorcycle. I was thinking to myself, if that happened to me, that thing is going on Cycle Trader or some other thing, and I'm selling it. It's done. I'm done after that happened. But that also let me know that I'm not a rider, right? See, everybody's wired for different things. Everybody's built for different things. That doesn't make it better or worse. It's just that things are designed for different people. And when you find the thing that you're designed to do, lean all the way in, whether people understand the nuances of it or not. Because this young man is willing to run the marathon. And like you said, at mile 17, he had to go. He just let it flow multiple times and kept it moving. And he had a great time finishing the marathon. But that's what he is designed to do. That's what was created for him to do. So he needs to go and do it. Should everybody go do it? Probably not. But for him, this is what he's supposed to do. So what are your thoughts on that? And also, what are your thoughts? Shout out to Tirsa Smith of WATE in Knoxville, Tennessee. Brilliant way of handling that and keeping this interview going, because that thing could have gone left really quick, but you kept it between the lines. So kudos to you. But anyway, what are y'all's thoughts on this? I mean, anything, drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear it. But until next time, y'all be blessed, well, and wise. Have an amazing day. Go be the quarterback of your mindset. Peace.